You think, hey, you can give this guy the ball, you got a first down.
Yeah.
And he is he's as fast as a water bug.
And not only fast, quick, he's got great field vision. And I think, there's been a lot of discussion on our Facebook page about Ballard got a skill set and very complimentary skill set. But I think Monken being a run-first guy, I think he likes the run element and the big play potential for Tyrell. I mean, he's quick, elusive, can find those gaps, and has the quickness to get through them quickly.
Yeah, it was great to see number 3 quarterback come in there. Jamal didn't play much last year, right? But he's ready to go. I mean, obviously it was only a couple of plays, but to have 3, possibly 4 quarterbacks to, if you needed them, that's a good thing.
He only had 3 carries, but 26 yards. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, and that's one thing watching Nashville, Tennessee's own Cade Ballard, who has been pretty dadgum good at quarterback this year. He took a pretty stiff shot in the back, and I don't think we saw him again after that one play. But
TT came out after the second touchdown, right?
Yeah.
On his shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, we got a week.
Yeah.
We got a good time to have an off week.
Yeah. One more thing. One of the things that's really impressed me about the Army team is at certain position, it just seems like they've got the pipeline established. And every year, especially at linebacker, we go, oh man, we lost Christensen, we lost whoever the star linebacker is, but next man up, and Leo Lowen led the team in tackles, and so is getting the job done.
Yeah, that's one of those names that we didn't expect to hear much. He's kind of a surprise. But, all in all, we had a great game. I think we won 49-10. I picked a 31-point victory. It was a 39-point victory.
Nice.
So
yeah, you had to bring that up, didn't you?
Had to bring that up.
Right.
So, and I said,
can I help you with that pat on the back there, Bill?
No, I can't
hook you
reach
up?
my back. But we also had almost 500 yards rushing. All that stuff that happened in that game really brought our season-long stats up to the place where they need to go.
Yeah, but I think more important than that, because I am the numbers guy saying minimizing stats. But the thing I liked was for them to get out there, experience, execute the schemes and again just really found that rhythm. And a lot of football is, does it feel right? I mean, it's like swinging a golf club. Does it feel right?
Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. But when you get out there and
especially when you get older,
have extended. They had a good 2-3 quarters of really solid football, and I think that bodes well going forward. Especially that's a nice note to enter a bye week.
Okay, and hey, but the old swinging of the golf club, it hadn't been going well for me lately. But hey, Jackson, let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll wait for Coach Monken to call up in a minute or so. This is Crawdad. Crawdad's countdown to kickoff with the human Ouija board and the long snapper. We'll be back with you in a minute.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
Do you you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed a 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman, hope to see you soon.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Attorney Tommy Sinyard on behalf of Sinyard Law, and again proud to be a sponsor of All Things Football here on ESPN Radio. My son Bart and I started our own law firm July 1 and are very proud and excited to be bringing you our 50 years of collective national award-winning injury trial law experience. Check us out on the web, sinyardlaw.com.
Sinyard Law, nationally recognized, locally respected. One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. This Friday, get the latest zone deal, $75 for a round of golf and cart for two to Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Catch the Tide every Saturday. Hi, this is Chris Stewart of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Listen to Alabama football on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and this is Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff, and we are pleased to be joined and excited to be joined by Army head football coach Jeff Monken. Coach, are you there?
I am. Glad to be on with you, Crawdad.
Hey, we're glad to have you on. I guess you had to listen to the commercials so you know where to get an attorney and go play golf and do all that other stuff down here. But
get some appliances.
There you go. Yeah, we can hook you up with that. Hey, Coach, the first thing I'd like to do is congratulate you on your great 9-year tenure at Army and being the number 2 winningest coach in Army football, with hopefully more to come.
Yeah.
I haven't played a single snap yet, so the credit goes to the players. We've had some really good ones, and we've had a great coaching staff. Our assistant coaches and those players are the ones that have done it, and it's just been fun to be along for the ride. And it's such a great place. I love coaching at Army. It gives me tremendous pride to be in a leadership position at this institution. And like you said, I hope there's a whole bunch more to come.
We do too, Coach. Hey, coming off of a great win against Villanova, solid FCS team. You got 3 games under your belt. You've had a chance to take a look at players and that. What are some things you're going to be focusing on specifically as you head into the bye week? Areas where you think you need to tighten things up just a bit?
There's so many things we got to get better at. I don't know if we've got enough time. Just blocking and staying in blocks, getting off of blocks and making tackles in the open field, taking care of the ball, just all the fundamental things that really matter. Once the ball gets snapped, I hope that we'll do a good enough job of teaching our guys where they're supposed to go and who they're supposed to cover and what gap they're supposed to play and all those things. But they got to play with great fundamentals. And here, especially, if we don't play fundamentally sound, we can get embarrassed in a real hurry. Yeah. So those are the things we work on every day.
Hey, Coach, I know there was a little bit of reshuffling on the O-line. Do you attribute that to the success of the run game, or was it just it took a few weeks maybe to start gelling, or was it a matchup thing, or can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, we played two really good football teams, and just so much respect for Coach Chadwell and Coach Traylor, the jobs that they do with their teams. I think those are two really, really good football teams that we lost to, and athletic, and a lot of it had to do with them. But as I said, there are fundamental things that we can do a lot better, and we've been striving to do that as we've gone through preseason camp and throughout the season, and I hope we'll continue to improve. But some of the shuffling on the offensive line has to do with some injury. We've had a few guys banged up, which we're trying as hard as we can to keep our team healthy and get those that are injured back in the lineup. And hopefully with this week off and having a bye week going into Georgia State, we will be a little healthier, and some of those guys that weren't able to play the last couple of weeks, we can get back in there.
Hey, Coach, one thing, 12th year of doing this show, and this is the first time I've ever said this, and that is the fact that we are leading the nation in passing efficiency. Is that
how about that?
How about that, man? Is that something that we're going to see a lot more of this year, or is it just something that you've taken what the other team has given?
That's a result of the fact that we've had such a successful run game, and the fact that defenses really load the box and try to take the run away. And what's happened is it's given us an opportunity to find some down the field throws because of the run action. People suck up on the run, and we're able to get behind them, and that's happened in the past. We've often been in the tops, sometimes the number one, sometimes in the top 5 of yards per completion. Though we don't complete a lot of passes, when we do, it's oftentimes for big yardage, and that's kind of been the case this year as well. We've thrown some long passes that either have set up a score or scored on those plays, and those have been good. If you look at it, though, the last game, we didn't complete a pass, and we won very handily. Now, difference between UTSA and Coastal Carolina and Villanova, there's some different players on those teams we lost to in the first 2 games, but our success and our formula is running the ball, stopping the run, limiting the possessions for the other team, and we've done that really well in years past. And so that really is our way of playing complementary football and what we're striving to do. The passing game doesn't always contribute to that formula, but it's a part of it. And we have no reservations about throwing the ball. We just know we have to be a good running football team to establish the opportunity to throw the pass.
Yeah, definitely. So 25% of the regular season under your belt. What players maybe have bubbled to the surface, maybe even exceeded your expectations coming into the year?
Wow. Jackson Phillipwitz, who's an offensive guard. You don't often mention a guy like that. It's usually a skill position player, a guy that's running the ball or catching the ball or throwing it or kicking it or a skill guy on defense. But he's really had a good year so far. He's improved so much, really having a good season for us. He can play both center and guard, and we put a lot of faith in him to go in there and play center when Connor needs a blow or maybe gets nicked up. So he's one guy that stands out. Hayden Reed, who's a freshman, scored a touchdown on Saturday playing running back. Great to have a guy like that adds depth. And oftentimes it takes a year for those guys to grow up physically and really be ready to play at Army. It's just the nature of what they go through here. But he is he's a good player. He's explosive, and I think he's going to improve as the season goes along. And I'm excited about just kind of seeing him develop. And then defensively, we've got some new faces in there. We've got new linebackers. Jimmy Charlo playing outside linebacker. I've been really pleased with him. Seeing Quindrell Hammond playing in place of the graduated Cedric Cunningham, who meant so much to our team. And then inside, Leo Lowen, who transitioned from safety up there, and Calvin Crummy from right down there in Alabama, Tuscaloosa. So he's the starting linebacker, starting Mike linebacker for us. So those guys are all doing good things, and just eager to see them improve. And a lot of times when they're playing their first games of their career and starting for the first time, there is just a lot of potential for growth and improvement.
Awesome. Hey, Coach, I loved listening to Marquel Broughton and Tyler talk after the game about how they have so much trust in the locker room for the next man up, and just, last year with the selflessness among the quarterbacks, seemed like they were all cheering for whoever was taking snaps under center. I mean, it seems pretty special to me. Do you think there are many programs with this type of culture, especially in this day of transfer portal, and if they're not getting play time, they're anxious to move on to a different program?
There are some great cultures at programs around the country, and coaches and players that have built tremendous locker rooms and a sense of loyalty to each other. But I've never been a part of a locker room like ours. I've never been around a bunch of guys who genuinely love and care for each other and are pulling for each other like our guys do. It is complete selflessness. They don't care who gets the credit. They don't care who scores the touchdown. They don't care who gets the sack. They're just trying to help each other win. And when you've got a team like that that's fighting for each other, you can be a good team. You don't have to be the most talented team on the field to win games. You just got to have the best team. And that's what these guys are. They play together, and really, really proud of them. And when those guys talk and they talk about those things, it's absolutely genuine.
Yeah, love that. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah. On November 5th, you wrap up a 2-game series against Air Force in Arlington, Texas, and it was just recently announced that in 2023 you head up to Mile High Stadium. So what are your thoughts about the Air Force game and potentially it morphing to the Army-Navy format with a neutral site game versus the traditional home-and-home kind of pattern?
My feeling is wherever they want to schedule their home games is fine with them. That's their business. But as for our games, I want to play in Mikey Stadium, so hopefully we're going to continue to do that.
Outstanding,
yeah, Coach. We thought you might say, you just put pads on
That's
and
right.
we'll meet anywhere and we'll
That's
play.
right. We'll play in the parking lot.
We'll play in the parking lot.
It's a fact. We will. You say there's a game against them, we're going to show up and play as hard as we can play.
Outstanding.
We got that. Well, hey, Coach, a question I have may make you have pause to reflect for a moment, but your tenure has been great for Army fans. There's been a lot of good things. I mean, you've beaten the service academies each 4 times, 4 bowl games, a lot of successes, a lot of great players have came through under your tenure. What is Jeff Monken's favorite memory from the last 9 years? What is the moment when you're sitting on the porch, maybe having a refreshing adult beverage, you're saying, God, this was the greatest thing that ever happened while I was at Army?
Wow.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I genuinely love seeing our guys graduate. It's awesome to see them go through this entire process. So I've been here long enough that I've seen several classes where we go out and recruit. We start recruiting when they're in the junior year, and they come to campus, they come to camps, and they come to games, and they sign with us. They're excited. They go through the whole process and beast barracks and their plebe year, and they grow into being a player, and then they walk across that stage and get handed that diploma from West Point. It's just awesome and a source of pride for us, all of us. But there's been some great memories on the football field, and I think probably my sense of personal responsibility when I took this job to end that streak. As you guys know, I was on the other sideline with Paul Johnson when the streak started, and when I came here, I made it my own personal business that I was going to find a way that this streak was going to end. And when the streak ended in 2016, that celebration, it was just awesome. And to back it up with another win in 2017 and another win in 2018, and to bring home the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, that win in 2016 really moved our program, and it's going to be a memory for a lifetime.
Yeah, for all of us. Yeah,
for all of us, and all 3 of us have walked across that stage and gotten that diploma, and we certainly know how important that is, and we also know how important it has been for you to take some time out of your busy schedule and share a few moments with us tonight. I know it's a Wednesday night. You probably got a lot to do, but again, we thank you for being with us, and we look forward to talking to you again, and we will say, go Army.
Be Navy.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it, Coach.
All right, Coach, we're going to get out of here. And Jackson, go ahead and take us to a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes. That was Army head coach Jeff Monken. Great interview. Crawdad back soon. That was cool.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
What can you expect when you shop for a firearm at Bullet & Barrel? Expect great prices. We specialize in quality over quantity. Expect great service. Our professional sales staff is never pushy. We won't talk you into something that doesn't fit your needs. You have the right to make a smart, informed decision. Expect Bullet & Barrel, Alabama's only 5-star indoor shooting range, to support you after the sale. Bullet & Barrel, 3252 Lehman Ferry Road. Like or follow us on Facebook. Come see us soon.
One of the best kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices. Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman, hope to see you soon.
Trash Pandas are back and better than ever. Single game tickets for the 2022 Trash Pandas season are on sale now. This season's promotions include all new giveaway items, specialty jerseys, holiday games, and fireworks all season long. Reserve your seat now while you still can at trashpandasbaseball.com. Let's rock it.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Another hot and sunny afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Temperatures only drop into the low and mid 70s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Thursday afternoon. Maybe a slight increase in cloud cover through the heart of the afternoon, early into the evening. But it doesn't look like we're going to see any rain. That increase in cloud cover is going to come with a cold front that's going to move through the Tennessee Valley. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The best in local sports talk from the 256. We are local.
When you're number one, you don't have to worry.
We are award-winning. Thank you for listening. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You'll be set for life.
Welcome back, Army sports fans, from sea to shining sea. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and I hope you enjoyed that interview with Coach Monken. We certainly did.
That was great.
And he graciously gave us of his time, and I know normally Wednesday night is his family time, so thank you, Coach Monken. And before we get started, just a little quick note about Nick's Restaurante, one of our other great sponsors. As I say, they're a driver and a pitching wedge south of the intersection of Bailey Cove and Weatherly. If you go down to Nick's anytime, I've got a nice Army shirt down there. If you mention it, that you heard on this show, that you heard about the shirt, not only will Tom Chapman, the owner, present it to you, but he will give you 15% off probably one of the best meals you have ever had.
Yeah.
So,
great location for a special night out.
Yeah, we need to go there one.
Yeah.
So, hey, without any further ado, we're going to bring on a longtime friend of the show, Sal Interdonato. Sal, how you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Hey, good. Also,
Fantastic.
We're glad you could spend a little time with us tonight. So, tell our listeners what you're doing with Army Sports now.
Yeah, website Black Knight Nation and podcast Black Knight Nation. You know, after 12 years on the beat, I just had so much information. I had so much information that I wanted to felt like it was right to get to Army fans. I mean, so much knowledge I had in notebooks, on tape recorders, on phones, and I thought the best thing to do was to start Black Knight Nation, the website, and then the podcast kind of just happened during the pandemic. Was kind of sitting around, kind of coming up with ideas, and the podcast happened, and we've had some really amazing guests on our podcast, and it's really been fun to hear their stories about, there's some guys who led Army to some recent success for the Black Knights, and there's some guys like Nate Sassaman. We have part 2 tonight.
Yeah.
For all you night birds, people, insomniacs, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Nate Sassaman part 2 live.
Wow.
You can find that on our YouTube, Black Knight Nation YouTube, my Twitter account, Black Knight Nation Twitter account. Man, the first one was great. I was just re-listening to the first one today, and I can't wait to have Nate on again tonight. And Steve Anderson will be on tonight, and Steve's been a great co-host. He just brings he brings the Army Football Brotherhood into the podcast, right? And it's just been amazing, the guests we have. Steve, you've been on a recap of the bowl game.
Yeah, that was a fun time. And I tell you what, posted the podcast with Nate Sassaman on there, and we got a lot of just incredible compliments on that, and people think the world of Nate, and so that got a lot of reaction on our Facebook page.
And you had
Appreciate
Steve
that.
as a guest, and you haven't had me yet.
Well,
no,
there's a
he
reason.
Was an analyst. He was an analyst, Crawdad. He broke down the bowl game.
He is a bit more analytic than I am. So speaking of analytics, give us your take on the Army team so far. A 1-2 could easily be 3-0.
No, I don't know if they could easily be 3-0. I mean, I was at both of the first 2 games, and honestly, they were in the game against Coastal, but they just kind of ran out of gas. The defense kind of ran out of gas. They were on the field a lot. The first 2 games, the defense, 51 plays or something like that. They were on the field the first 2 games, and that's not going to work, especially when you're starting some new guys, right? Up the middle, your core up the middle is new for Army, with the exception of Marquell Broughton. So, I mean, that's a tough start for your defense when you're on the field all the time, and you're looking for maybe some experience to get you off the field on that in the inside, in the inside running game, and you're just not getting it. So I think that they kind of found the recipe for success against Villanova, right? They ran the football, and the defense made some plays. They got some takeaways. I mean, the defense didn't make no takeaways in the first 2 games. I mean, they're playing against 2 really experienced quarterbacks in Grayson McCall and Frank Harris, so that's part of it, I guess. But we'll know a lot about this team when they come off the bye. They need to take care of business against Georgia State at home. Georgia State's 0-3, and I know they played, the North Carolina, South Carolina, and they lost a 1-point game to Charlotte. But I mean, that's a team you should beat at home. I know that's a team you should beat at home. You get to 2-2, and then the real test is at Wake Forest the following week. So.
Hey, Sal, speaking of Georgia State, so I know they got a really good quarterback, just like the first 3 teams we faced. But besides the quarterback, who's your biggest concern for Georgia State?
I say the coach is my biggest concern on Georgia State. I mean, that guy gets his team ready to play. He's going to have their defense ready to go, right? He's going to have their defense ready to go, and he's probably going to play something similar to what Coastal and UTSA did to try to stop the fullback. And we hope that Tyson Riley will be ready to play. We all know what's up with Jacoby Buchanan, and they're going to have to come up. The offense has 2 weeks now, guys, right? The offense has 2 weeks to figure out, hey, what if they play 9 guys or 10 guys on the line of scrimmage, and what if they're not giving us the fullback? What are we going to do? You got to pitch the ball outside, right? You got to get the ball to those slot backs to soften up the middle a little bit. You got to get the quarterback on the perimeter too somehow. Those are some of the things that I'm the armchair offensive coordinator here, right? But that's some of the things that had to be done against UTSA and Coastal that they did. And you say like, okay, they scored 28 points against Coastal. They scored 38 points against UTSA, right? So that should be good enough to win most games.
Oh yeah.
And agreed, it should be. It should be. But when they needed like an extra play here or there, it just wasn't there for them in those 2 games. So hopefully they find it against Georgia State and Wake Forest the following week.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the defense, right now we're ranked 114th in rushing defense. We're giving up almost 5 yards a rush. It just doesn't seem that, especially the interior, the middle linebacker, defensive lineman set. Is getting it done. Is that an issue of personnel? Is the scheme not being executed? What do you attribute that to?
I think it's just guys that are playing a little bit more snaps than they're used to, right? And I mean, you don't have Nolan Cockrell playing the whole game at tackle. Yeah. You don't have Eric Smith playing the whole game at middle linebacker. You don't have Cedric Cunningham playing the whole game at like free safety. So these guys are learning kind of on the job, so to speak, right? Darius Richardson played behind Nolan Cockrell last year, but how much did he really play, And Darius Richardson, I thought, is coming along. I think he's playing better. Leo Lowen's pretty much a steady influence, but then you see rotating inside linebackers, and you know what? It worked against Villanova, right? It worked against Villanova a little bit. Like Calvin Crummy, who started the first 2 games, I'm not sure he got into the game against Villanova into the second half. They started Peyton Hampton and Leo Lowen. They used that combination. Cam O'Gara got a chance to play a little bit more because he had a pretty good game against UTSA. He got a little banged up, but it looks like he's going to be fine for Georgia State. He might have to play with a cast on his hand. But they have some talent there. Spencer Jones is starting to get back into the Spencer Jones that we saw in that bowl game his freshman year, right? I mean, so it's going to take some time. Do they have any Eric Smiths on their roster? I'm not sure they do. Do they have any Nolan Cockrells on their roster? Not sure they do. Those guys don't come around every season, So you gotta. That's where Nate Woody and the scheme has to come into effect. I think a little bit,
Well, hey Sal, one thing we haven't talked about, but it's amazing that we're the number 1 ranked team in America in pass efficiency. What do you think about our passing game this year?
I thought they would drop a little bit after throwing.
Yeah, I did too, but they're still after going 0 for 1.
Well, they figured out the recipes for winning is not to throw the ball that much, right? Because that's what happened at Villanova. But I mean, they have weapons, so you can't just let Isaiah Alston line up wide and just stand there and block all game. You have to throw to Isaiah Alston. You can't just let Terrell Robinson just run some outside plays and maybe some inside counter plays. I mean, you got to get these guys the ball in their hands. You got to get Ishawn Marshall the ball. I said that in the UTSA game. Ishawn Marshall had 3 catches for 87 yards. You know how many carries he had, guys? 0. No carry. So and Ishawn didn't. I don't think Ishawn played much against Villanova on Saturday. So they have some game breakers on offense. You got to use them. Of course, you have to. 33. What is it? Like 39 carries for 99 yards from the fullbacks in the first. First 2 games. That's not Army football, So there has to be a balance. More run, probably like 90% run, 10% pass is their success, right?
Yeah.
But Cade Ballard can throw. Cade Ballard has impressed me. I didn't know what to expect from Cade Ballard at the beginning of the season because he only threw had one completion before the season, And his game against UTSA, I'm a believer in Cade Ballard, that he stood in the pocket, he took some hits, he made some throws that you just don't see Army quarterbacks make. You just don't see Army quarterbacks make. So, I mean, I guess you have to get the passing game a little bit involved, especially, Georgia State, Wake Forest. I mean, they're gonna try to stop the run. I mean, you're not going to be able to impose your will completely on those teams. I wouldn't think like you did against Villanova, but.
Hey, Sal, real quick, we got time for one more. Do you have any insider information on any of the injuries like Buchanan or anybody?
Or Ballard? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cade is fine. I don't know about Buchanan. I mean, Steve Anderson on our podcast suggested it could be like a bruise or something. And Coach Monken was asked on another interview earlier this week about it, and the whole 24. We'll find out in 24 hours, 48 hours about. I don't know. Did he tell you guys anything about Buchanan?
We didn't ask.
No, we stayed away from that. We've seen how he answers injury questions.
We did. Don't ask, don't tell. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's just something that is season ending, but I don't know if he's going to be like back on the field against Georgia State either. So that means like Hayden Reed, guys like I don't know. They're very tight-lipped about that stuff. I haven't really heard too much. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's serious. It seems like he was smiling when he was on the sidelines. Maybe it was precautionary on crutches. Maybe there's more tests that need to be done. But it's Wednesday now. They should have a good idea about what the injury is. And, if not, Tyson Riley's just got to play like he did against Villanova.
I'd love a repeat of that.
All right. Well, hey, Sal, thank you so much for coming on with us tonight. We may try to get you on later on in the year, and we're going to go ahead and say adios.
Thanks, Sal. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Sal.
much.
Appreciate it.
Guys. Bye.
And, folks, we're going to do our last segment of the show, and guess what? We are going to open the phone lines at 256-576-4977. We'd like to hear your thoughts on the first quarter of the season, and we're going to let you go, and we will be back in just a few minutes to wrap it up. Go run to the payphone, put a few nickels and dimes in there, and give us a call, 256-576-4977. Jackson, get us out of here. Folks, we'll be...
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Two Maids and a Mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. Two Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at twomaidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. Two Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Attorney Tommy Sinyard on behalf of Sinyard Law, and again proud to be a sponsor of All Things Football here on ESPN Radio. My son Bart and I started our own law firm July 1 and are very proud and excited to be bringing you our 50 years of collective national award-winning injury trial law experience. Check us out on the web, sinyardlaw.com.
Sinyard Law, nationally recognized, locally respected.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Touchdown, Alabama! No look pass inside, but he got to go to play.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. Briefly, before we get to our callers, please remember NorthAlabamaMortgage.com and Brian Hamaker and his team, especially if you're a vet and you need to refinance or anything you need to do, buy a new home, an existing home, that's who you need to see. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. We got a couple of callers. Barrett, go ahead.
How's it going, everybody? Go Army.
Hey, Barrett.
Navy.
Hey, just calling over here from the sunny West Coast. It's still daylight where we're at right now, but just wanted to make a comment. I think what Coach Monken said and what Sal said was right on the money with getting the team to run the ball more, getting that focus on stopping the run on defense, and just really getting it to the outside, pitching the ball, and going back, kind of the roots of Army football. And I think they showed it during the Villanova game, and I think they showed it too for Coastal Carolina and UTSA. And I think with this 2 weeks off, I think the Army football teams are really going to hone it in, and I think it's going to be a huge lopsided victory win against Georgia State.
Well, hey, we hope you're right, and we'll see how your prognostication comes true. So thanks for the call.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, one more shout-out. I just wanted to say beat Navy. The Army sprint football team is playing Navy this week.
Hey, a good reminder on that. We were going to mention that,
Good
but
call,
it slipped my oversized noggin. So
It's like you guys are related or something like ESP.
All right, well, thanks, Barrett. Let's go ahead and bring Joel in. Joel, how are you doing?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, with 2 losses earlier on, how does it look for a bowl game for Army this year?
Well, Steve Cripey is the man to answer that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. 3 games is enough to really prognosticate, but I think things look good. The challenge for us, if we're on the bubble, is we've got 2 FCS teams on our schedule because Tennessee bailed out on us at the last minute. Now I believe there's some discussion that in certain seasons, the NCAA will allow a team to count 2 FCS if they're extenuating circumstances. And I think Tennessee bailing out on us at a time when there were no FBS teams available to reschedule, I think that may be. But I think it looks good. I mean, we've got a tough game against Wake Forest come up. That's going to be a really tough against a very, very talented team that's currently a top 25 team. Colgate, ULM, I think those are W's. Air Force is going to be very tough. So that's sort of could go either way. Troy, I'm feeling good about. I thought they might have a better team, but I think we're good again. UConn and UMass, and again that. I know this grates against some people. Take them one game at a time, and I believe that, especially if I'm a player, take it one game at a time. But if looking at it analytically, I think I still see us getting 8 wins. So I think we'll be good for a bowl game.
Oh, by the way, Steve, we don't have to be analytical. This is Sports Talk Radio. But speaking of bowls, Mr. Jeff Johnson. Tell us about your bowl.
Well, I was going to tell. I was just going to mention. Don't tell Coach Monken, but the deputy athletic director was out there this summer recon and practice facilities and team hotels in Shreveport for the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl, which will happen a couple days before Christmas. But like Steve said, I don't dare ever say anything like that to Coach. Right? I mean, one game at a time. But they play that they know how to play. They should be in Shreveport.
Now,
in late
does
December.
the Independence Bowl have a tie-in with Army?
Yeah, so Army's on contract. Yeah, every other year. BYU was last year. It'll be next year, and then I think it's Conference USA this year. And last year was supposed to be Pac-12, or 2 years ago it was supposed to be Pac-12, but they backed out. So.
All right, Joel. Hey, good question, and we got some expert analysis on that. And, folks, I do want to let everybody know we just got a couple of minutes, and we're going to have to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed Coach Monken. Just for your planning purposes, last year we did not have shows during the week of a bye. This year we will, thanks to our great station.
That's because we are a really big deal now.
We are a really big deal
At least that's
now.
my story.
That's your story, and you're sticking to it. Well, Steve, how many days are there anyway?
There are 79 and a butt days until Army beats the hell out of Navy at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
How about that? And
yeah,
again,
and I tell you what, I really think, again, don't want to take any game for granted, and Army Navy is always tough, as we saw last year. Navy had a tough year, came in, and we came away with the big L. But I think that was probably something that was the coaches mentioned a lot during spring ball, preseason, and I think they're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. And I'm already looking forward to that game to really just pull out the big can of whoop you know what.
Well, hell, let's play them next week. And again, we'd like to thank Jeff Johnson, the long snapper, for sitting in for Colonel Tom tonight, who's out riding his motorcycle around. We hope he makes
misaligned priorities. That's
yeah. Every time he rides that bike, something not good seems to happen. So, again, go see our good sponsor, Nick's Restaurante. See Tom Chapman. Tell him you heard about the T-shirt here on the show. You'll get the shirt. You'll get a 15% discount. And as we always say to close every show, no matter where we are and no matter where you are and no matter what you're doing, there's a soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, Coast Guard person somewhere standing a watch so you can enjoy the life that you have today. And with that, I will say, go Army.
Beat Navy.
This is Crawdad. We're out. Talk to you next week.